Sarah, I'm trying to get in contact with Tony, but he won't reply to me. Could you get him to message or call me back as soon as he can? Hi, Olivia. Tony is at work right now, so he probably just can't reply because of that. If you just wait a little longer, I'm sure he will reply even without me telling him to. Even if he is at work, surely he can at least check his phone and reply to my messages. Well, I think that depends on what he is doing at the time. He might just be really busy at the moment, or in a meeting or something. But it's already been over 3 hours since I texted him, and he still hasn't replied. There's no way that he hasn't seen my text. No matter how busy he may be, he must have checked his phone at least once in the past 3 hours. He does also have a work phone, so he is probably using that all day. I don't think he has the time to check his personal phone in the middle of a shift. In that case, can you tell me the number of his work phone? I actually don't know the number to that one myself. You don't know it? Really? How can you not know that one? Because it's just for work calls and emails. There's no reason for me to call that number, so there's no point in knowing it either. As usual, you really are never of any use to me. Sorry. But anyway, it's almost lunchtime, so he should have his break in a little bit. I'm sure he will get back to you when he takes lunch. But I need to talk to him about something really important to do with his dad. I wonder what I should do. Oh, did something happen with Bill? I remember you saying that he went to the hospital for some tests and a checkup not too long ago. I shouldn't really be telling someone who isn't a family member this, but yes, he went to the hospital and they found that he has a disease. It looks like from now on he will have to stay home and have a full-time caregiver look after him. What? Really? It's that bad? Yes, and he only just got to retire too. I really feel bad for that man. He had been looking forward to enjoying his second round of life without having to worry about work anymore. He had spoken so much about all of the things he wanted to do with all of his free time that he would have after retirement. Why did this have to happen to someone like him? So, is this disease life-threatening? Yes, but I'm not going to tell you the name of the disease. Strangers like you shouldn't know about it. Don't press Tony to tell you about it either. Sure, I won't do that. If it's not my business, I won't push to find out. But are you sure that Bill won't be able to do any of those things that he was planning? Is it really all that bad? It seems like he will be bedbound for the most part. He wanted to rent or buy a caravan and go on a long trip out west. But that will be impossible. There still must be some things he can do from home, even if he can't do those bigger plans any longer. Are you even listening to yourself? How is he supposed to enjoy anything sick in bed all while knowing that he would have been driving through the country out west? Not only is he physically ill, he will be mentally and emotionally distraught too. You're right. But it's better not to focus too much on what could have been. At least he can still be with family, and people can try and help him take a more positive outlook on the situation. That's all much easier said than done. By the way, what time does Tony get home from work each day? On a regular day, he comes home at around 7:30 in the evening. I see. And does he ever work overtime? Sometimes he does, but those days aren't set in stone, so we never know when he might have to stay a little later. But he has the weekend and public holidays off, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Unless something really important has come up at work and he has to go in to sort it out. But that happening is very rare. But why are you asking about that? Does his work schedule have some connection to something? I'm just thinking about some things at the moment. But anyway, I see. Wait, Olivia. Is Bill doing okay right now? Is he still in the hospital? Of course he isn't okay! That's why I'm in such a hurry to get in contact with Tony! He's still in the hospital, but we need to try and sort out what is going to happen from now on. Can you just message him so that he gets back to me even the tiniest bit quicker? It's not like you can be of any real help to Bill at this time, so the very least you can do is message Tony and be useful that way. Good afternoon, Olivia. Sorry, but do you have a little bit of free time to talk at the moment? I'm really busy looking after Bill and doing all of the housework on top of that here. What do you need from me? Sorry. I know that you're very busy these days, but I actually wanted to talk to you about the situation with Bill and nursing him at home. What does something like that have to do with you? It doesn't really have anything to do with me directly, but it is affecting my husband. He's been in really poor health since he started going to look after Bill. In poor health? You mean Tony? That's impossible. He's still young and healthy as ever. No, he isn't. Ever since he started looking after Bill, he goes there every day after work, right? Of course he does. He's our only child. It makes sense for him to come and help look after the parents who raised him. But sometimes he even has to look after Bill all night long. On those days, he only quickly comes back home to shower and get changed before going straight off to work again. And then on the weekends, he is there caring for Bill by himself from morning to night. That's too much of a workload for one person. He can't continue to do both that and work full-time, too. He has already lost almost 22 pounds in the past few months since he started this. That's really unhealthy to lose weight like that. If it keeps going like this, Tony will be the one to have serious health issues. So what are you trying to tell me? That I have to care for Bill all on my own? No, that's not what I meant at all. But I think it would be good to hire a professional in-house nurse for at least some days. Or even I can come and help look after him too. But I think it would be the best thing for everyone if we help take some of the burden off of Tony before anything bad happens to his health. I told you months ago when we were first thinking about how to care for Bill properly. He doesn't want to be taken care of by some stranger. And you or a professional in-house nurse both count as strangers. He doesn't even want to let others into the house. And I agree with him. I don't want to have you just hanging around the house for no reason. But this is seriously going to affect Tony's health. Can't you at least consider another way to look after Bill without just relying on family? I understand that he had preferences, but if those end up hurting his son... Either way, or at the very least just lower some of the burden from Tony. Maybe he doesn't have to come every day, or on the weekends or something. I also have my hands full enough as it is. Am I just supposed to not sleep now and look after Bill 24/7? I'm getting old, you know. I need to make sure I get enough sleep. I heard that you sleep plenty every night, but Tony barely gets any sleep at all. He is always relying on tiny power naps to get through the day. He needs at least one day a week when he can relax and get a proper 8 or 9 hours of sleep in. He is still young and in his 30s, so nothing will happen to him. He will be fine. In any case, shouldn't you be more worried about me and how I'm coping in this case? Or do you not care about that at all? Because I'm not your family. I bet that's exactly what you have been thinking. No, that's not it at all. Family or not, I haven't said a single thing about that. I'm just very worried about my husband. If it's so hard to do everything with just the two of you, can't you try to convince Bill to let me help as well? I am his daughter-in-law, after all. You really are so stubborn. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but a daughter-in-law is still an outsider, not family. I understand your way of thinking on that. I have certainly heard it enough. I'm just asking you to at least think about it a little bit. That's enough of this. Just stop sticking your nose into my family business. This has nothing to do with you. And Tony is coming to help of his own volition. You're acting as though I have been forcing him to come or something. I don't want to sit here and have to listen to you tell me what I need to or should be doing. If Tony ignores your messages or doesn't show up to your house, you start calling his workplace, though. So what? What's wrong with that? You can't bother him at work like that. Every time you call him there, it annoys his coworkers more and more. That's what gets him to come over and help out. I don't want him to forget, so I call him to make sure he comes by when he finishes his shift. But he is still the one making the choice to come. Whatever. I have had enough of this. This conversation is over. Good. I'm glad you finally understand. You're such an annoying daughter-in-law. You're always getting involved in family affairs and trying to tell me what to do or not listening to what I tell you. That's the reason I have never been able to like you. As my daughter-in-law, you're supposed to listen to and do as I say. So from now on, just don't get involved with our business any more than you have already. Sarah! What are you doing right now? Where are you? What do you mean? I'm just at home? But what are you doing there? I'm eating breakfast. I just woke up. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking why you're there and not here. Tony is here already, and you should be too. Why aren't you? There's been so much to take care of for the funeral, and you're just taking your time at home. Hurry up and get to the funeral home now. Me? Why do I need to go there for? There's a lot of things that you need to help us take care of. Your father-in-law has just died, and you're not going to come to the funeral. Is there something wrong with you? You should be taking the initiative here and helping without my having to ask you. Huh? Are you going to try and make a stranger do all that work for you? Why should I do any of that? You're the one who has always been telling me to stay out of family affairs. I'm not telling you that now, though. Don't act like such a child. Bill has passed away. This is a totally different situation. I know that. That's why I went to the wake yesterday. But today is the funeral! He will be cremated later as well. It didn't just end yesterday with the wake. There is still so much more. Remember, I'm not part of the family, so this has nothing to do with me. I wasn't even planning to come to the wake yesterday either. But then I figured that since it was the last I would ever see Bill, I should go and pay my respects at least there. So I reconsidered. And do you think that your role ends there? You're our daughter-in-law! Well, from now on, I don't plan on being your daughter-in-law in anything but name. Luckily, my husband also agrees with me here. So it would be great if you could stop trying to order me around. I can't believe this. I never liked you, but I never would have thought that you were the kind of person to be so resentful. How is Bill supposed to rest easy now that you won't even show up to his funeral like you're supposed to? Don't you have any feelings about that at all? The entire time that Tony and I have been married, both you and Bill have always treated me like an outsider. Even when I would go over there with Tony for something, you would always make me wait outside and not let me into the house. I know that Tony has told you to stop acting towards me like that many, many times, but neither of you changed your behavior even the slightest bit. Why would I feel anything towards you or Bill? Why do I have to be the one to fulfill some role that you expect me to? A daughter-in-law is someone that is removed one step from the family, you know. It's natural that we act like that. You really don't know anything about discretion or tact, do you? That's why it doesn't matter how much time passes. I just simply will never recognize you as a proper member of the family. And that's why I'm not going to attend the funeral today. Because I'm not a family member. You really are terrible to the core. I went out of my way to allow you to come to the funeral even though it was supposed to be for family members only. And here you are rejecting that offer. How can you talk and act like this when someone has just passed away? Sorry about that, but I really have no intention of getting involved with you or your business. But that's what you always wanted, isn't it? So it shouldn't be a problem for you either. I'm going to make you regret doing this. I'll also be sure to tell all of our relatives at the funeral just what kind of person you are. Go ahead and do as you like. I don't mind that at all. After all, why should I care what strangers think of me? Anyway, bye. Sarah, do you have a moment? What? Olivia? Why are you messaging me? You told me that you wanted to cut ties and never talk to me again. Well, you see, Tony won't call or message me back at all. It's been such a long time and I still haven't heard anything from him. Do you know if something has happened? Or maybe, did you tell him not to reply to me anymore? I didn't tell him to do anything of the sort. I even called his work, but they told me that he wasn't in and that they want me to stop calling the office. Of course they said that. Tony quit his job there. What? He quit? Why would he do that? What happened? What is he doing now, then? I'm not going to tell you that. Why not? I'm his mother! But to me, you're just a stranger. So I don't have to tell you anything. Sarah, just exactly how long do you plan on holding that against me? Bill has passed away, and all of the problems that came with caring for him at the end have gone too. Stop digging up things I said from that time already. Huh? I really don't know what you're getting at here. Anyway, just tell me where Tony is and what he's doing. Or I'll have to just pay you a visit at your house if you don't. You can go ahead and do that if you really feel like it. We moved out of our old address, so neither of us are going to be there, though. What? You even moved house? Hold on, what's going on here? Are you trying to steal my son away from me? Are you planning on not letting me see him for the rest of my life? Stop trying to make out everything is my fault. I didn't make Tony do anything at all. Quitting his job and the decision to move house were both decisions that he made himself. I don't believe you. There's no chance that he would just distance himself from me like this without saying anything at all. He has always listened to everything that I have said and the advice that I have given him. Oh, wait. I guess the only time he didn't listen was when I tried to talk him out of getting married to you. Maybe he has listened to you up until now, but things have changed. He has had enough of you and your selfish behavior. He wants to completely sever ties with you. What? He would never! Of course he would. Isn't it obvious? Even though he is busy with his job, you forced him almost to the point of exhaustion to come to your house every day and look after Bill while he was sick. Of course Tony wouldn't have minded helping with that. Bill is his father, after all. But you didn't just want some help. You forced the whole burden onto him, while you just laid back and took it easy. He barely slept more than 2 or 3 hours each day. How could you expect anyone to be able to continue to live like that? His health deteriorated severely because of it. But he still came and looked after Bill to the very end anyway. He said that it would be the last thing he ever did for you. And of course, he is by nature a very kind person and didn't want to let his father be alone. I'm sure he didn't trust you to take care of him properly if he didn't come around and do it himself. Plus, it all gave him some time to organize the move, among other things. So what are you saying? That I will never meet my son again? He definitely doesn't want to see you at the moment. And I can't imagine that he will change his mind anytime soon on that point. But who will look after me? What if I get sick or something happens to me? Who knows? Maybe you should have thought about that yourself before. That isn't really my problem anymore. Don't say things so bluntly. My husband just died and I'm going to be all alone. Don't you feel even a little bit sorry for me? I'm in my old age and can't even see my son. The two of us are not family, and you're not even someone who is important to me in the least. It doesn't matter what I think about you or what will happen to you. And it works the other way too. I don't care what you think of me. Sarah, please, be reasonable here. Bill got so sick so suddenly, and it really affected me. My mental and emotional state just weren't normal at that time. Oh yeah? Is that the angle that you're going to go with now? I know that I had a bad attitude towards you and probably said some cruel things too, but it was just the mental state that I was in. I was so stressed worrying about what would happen to Bill. So it wasn't that I really meant any of what I said. Let's not go overboard and make serious decisions based on things that happened at that time. I'm only doing exactly as you wanted things to go. A daughter-in-law isn't actually family to you. That's what you said. I agree now, and I'm acting like that. You also told me to not stick my nose into family business. So I'm not going to do that either. Who will look after you if you get sick sounds like family business to me. That's what you wanted, isn't it? For me to remove myself completely from these affairs. I told you that I didn't really mean those things. My son always takes your side in everything, so I was acting very cold to you because of that. I know I said some very childish things, but please forgive me for that. I don't care what reason you might have had for acting like that or saying those things. I'm not going to forgive you. Besides, you have been acting like that towards me far longer than just when Bill got sick. So don't try to say it was just your mental state at the time that made you act like that. There have been so many times when you would invite all of your relatives somewhere for dinner, or host a dinner at your house, but every time you would ignore me. There was never a seat at the table for me at those times, was there? I thought that it was important to do that at the beginning. You know, I thought I had to discipline you a bit and show you your place as my daughter-in-law. Discipline? What do you think I am? A dog that needs to be trained? When it comes to dealing with people, all you have to do is treat them reasonably and there will be no problems. But you thought of trying to put me in my place? Just who do you think you are? Do you really think that you're that much above everyone? You can make all these excuses, but I know that you just went out of your way to treat me like that because you didn't like me and thought you could get away with it. Sarah, please just calm down. You're the only one who I can get into contact with right now. Please, just talk to Tony and let me talk to him. You're the only one who can do that for me. After this, I'm going to block your number as well. I don't want you to ever message me again. Although, once you're blocked, it doesn't matter if you message me or not. I won't see them either way. Please, Sarah. I'm sorry. I messed up and it's my fault. I apologize for the way that I have treated you up until now. So please, just let me get in contact with my son somehow. You have to convince him to talk to me. His not talking to you has nothing to do with me. He made that decision on his own. Please do something! At this rate, I don't think my heart can take this level of stress. If something happens to you because of that, then it will only be your fault. You brought this on yourself. I don't want to talk ill of the dead, but you and Bill made this problem for yourselves by the way you treated others. It's because of that that Tony wants to have nothing more to do with you. This is the result of your treatment of me. I know that, but I'm sorry. I realize now that how I acted was wrong. I promise that I won't ever treat you like a stranger again. I accept you as a member of the family. So please, just forgive me. I don't want you to treat me as a member of the family. I have seen what kind of person you are, and I don't want to be grouped in with someone like you. Remember that this is what you wanted in the first place, and it doesn't matter how many times you apologize to me now. I'm not going to change my mind. I will never think of you as family. You obviously don't know the real meaning of that word anyway. After that, Olivia continued to send me messages over and over, saying the same things, so I blocked her number. She then tried to find out where Tony and I moved to from other relatives, but no one knew our new address, and so she was unsuccessful. Tony ended up telling his cousins and other close members of his family that he had made the decision to no longer be in contact with Olivia, and slowly the truth of how she had treated me and forced all of Bill's care onto Tony spread amongst the entire family. While people may have felt sorry for her at the start, the more they heard about what had actually happened, the more people began to realize that she had brought it all on herself and rightfully deserved what she got. Having lost her husband and her only son, Olivia went into a kind of shock and began to refuse to leave her house. She didn't even want to leave to go shopping or to the supermarket, and just started getting everything delivered to her door instead. It's said that not having any social interaction can have a really dire effect on a person's health, and at Olivia's age and considering what happened to her husband, her new lifestyle isn't going to be good for her. But even if she does get sick and needs help as Bill did, neither Tony nor I have any intention of lending her a hand. Tony has taken the stance that his mother has simply passed away and never mentions her anymore. After being forced to look after Bill with no rest and while still working, Tony's health really did decline, and he was really close to having some serious health issues as a result. By the end of it, he was both mentally and physically exhausted. Of course, I tried my best to support him any way that I could, but what he really needs is to just rest. He somehow got through it all by taking all of his paid leave to look after Bill towards the end, so that at the very least he wasn't working at the same time. But afterwards, we discussed things and he told me that he needs to take a break and quit his job. I fully understood, and we used the timing of his resignation to also move house. After taking a few months off to rest and recover, He is now back to his usual self and is now working at a new company. Before, I always did my best to deal with Olivia on my own and not get Tony involved in order to not place any extra stress on him. But now that I don't have to listen to her complaints, I realized how much of a mental strain it really was to have to deal with her. And now every day just seems so much brighter without her. From now on, I know that Tony and I will always be there to help each other through tough times no matter what. Eventually, we are going to start our own family and teach our kids the real meaning of the word, not the kind of selfish idea of family that Olivia had. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content. Don't forget to leave us a comment down below, and we shall see you in the next one.